Привет! Сегодня я приготовил очередной репортаж про пельмени. Буду вам рассказывать сегодня про китайские пельмешки. Какие пельмешки? Какие пельмешки? Где ты эти пельмешки сейчас возьмешь? Сейчас в Китае карантин. Лучше возьми интервью у африканского студента. Сделай репортаж про иностранных студентов. Будет отлично. Но раз второй Афоня говорит, что про пельмешки не надо рассказывать, а надо рассказывать про иностранных студентов, тогда возьмем интервью у одного африканского студента. Сегодня у нас специальный гость из Африки. Сегодня мы пригласили его на интервью, чтобы узнать о том, как он здесь обучается вообще, нравится ли ему Китай. В общем, сегодня мы услышим мнение не только студента из стран СНГ, но мнение студента из Африки. Наш сегодняшний гость, его зовут Chatira. You're welcome.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
First of all, can you tell us about yourself?
Okay. My name is Rico. I'm from Zimbabwe. My family name is called Chatira. So normally people call me Chatira when I'm here in China.
Да, может вы помните, в Инстаграме у меня, в моем Инстаграм-аккаунте я как-то выкладывал ролик, где Чатира рассказывал о своем имени. То есть мы снимали такой небольшой ролик, он тоже участвовал в конкурсе. Вот, кто хочет узнать происхождение его имени, можете как раз посмотреть этот ролик. Okay, Chatira, let me ask you next questions,
Alright, no
which I prepare for you.
No problem.
I think this kind of questions they are very interesting for our subscribers and audience.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Your first feelings before you came to China and after you
Come
come to China. Yeah.
Alright. My first feelings about China was that I learned about China through movies, like the old Shaolin Kung Fu movies, and the temples, and so I really thought maybe it was a little bit old, you know. I like the whole cultural aspect of China, and then soon as I came to China, I noticed that China is quite advanced.
Yeah.
They've got really nice big cities, very exciting looking places to be.
Not like before you.
Yeah, not like before, because I always saw from the old movies.
It's a compliment.
So I thought maybe it was, a little bit different. But yeah, it's very advanced. I like it. It's very beautiful.
So it's a cause for why you come to China.
Yes. I wanted to see all these buildings.
It's one of the amazing countries.
Yes. All right.
Okay, let me ask you a third question. As we know, Chinese people sometimes very surprised when they see foreigners, especially European peoples. And what about you? How about their reaction when they see foreign from Africa? I mean, when you go outside or go to supermarket to buy some things or products.
Okay, let me start off by saying in China I've noticed that there are like two kinds of people. There are people who are shy and then people who are very, very happy. So when they see a foreigner, like someone from Africa, the happy ones come and say hello, and then they try to take pictures with you, and then they start asking questions, which is good. And then there are others who are just very shy. They don't know what to do when they see a foreigner in front of them. They just walk away or they run away. So I just realized that maybe some people haven't seen people from Africa before, but some people who have seen African people, they're very happy. Very warm, welcoming people. So, which is normal. It happens also back home in Africa, where when it's the first time people seeing Chinese people coming to Africa, you do the same thing. Some people will say hello to them, and some people are just afraid to say hello, which is normal.
Especially, I think a lot of people they were surprised, especially in Anshan.
Yes.
It's normal for Beijing, for Shanghai, for Guangzhou, big cities.
Exactly.
But Anshan is a little city, so a lot of populations, they're all people, they don't know about African people, about foreigners.
Yes, of course. I remember one time I went up to the village in the rural areas. I mean, these children, they'd never seen an African person before, so they were just standing there looking at me, It was really interesting, but then I started talking to them, and saying hello and stuff like that, and then it's with time they started to like me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Because in my country, we have a lot of foreigners.
Alright.
For us, Asian people is normal. Even from Africa, from Europe, it's normal. But in China, I find it a little bit surprising.
Nah, it's okay.
Because one day when I come from Moscow, go back to dormitory, we come back with my friend. He's from Africa, he's Muslim, and we go to Moscow together. And we come back, that was in bus.
Okay.
It was a little bit happy time because a lot of people in bus can understand.
Oh, what you guys are saying?
Why Chinese person? It's me.
Alright,
Can speak with African.
Oh, okay.
So good, and with Russian people students.
Okay. Oh, that's actually good. That's good.
Like this. Okay. Next question.
Alright.
About maybe for some students, especially the first time came to China, they have a little bit difficulties. I mean about food, about Chinese culture. So about you, which kind of difficulties, I mean food or maybe life, you find in China, and how Chinese culture impact your life?
Okay. I think the first thing was to do with the food, because maybe I wasn't so used to eating a lot of things with hot food, with like spices. I'm not really good with eating spices myself, so that's why that was a really, really bad experience for me. The first 2 weeks I had to adjust to eating like spices, so that was the first thing I didn't like about the food. But then the food in general, I don't think is really that bad. I mean, it's just the same things you eat back at home, so just differently the way they cook it, but it's pretty much the same thing, just the spices.
Just the spices.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners, they tell Chinese food is spicy. But they didn't go to Sichuan. Sichuan, yeah.
Sichuan is one of the hottest dishes, right? Hogua, right? Hogua, yeah.
What about Chinese culture?
Chinese culture.
Impact for your life?
Okay. Chinese culture, I think, is really interesting. The fact that they really are cultural people. They stick to their rules and history, and which is actually quite good. I actually respect them in that sense. That at least they have a sense of direction of where they came from or where they're going. Unlike the rest of the world, some other places are just disturbed. But I like their culture. They're really quite rich. Especially when I went to the what's this place in Shenyang, the Gugong.
Gugong, yeah.
Yes. When I saw the Imperial Palace in Shenyang, was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I can't believe it's really a couple of thousands of years old and it still looks like that. I mean, you can really see that these people had a good way of living around them by themselves, which is good. I like it.
Yeah, you're right. Chinese culture is one of the interesting. Especially for foreigners, because day by day, foreign people are interesting about Chinese culture.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. Next question: can you tell about study?
Okay, about study.
Because a lot of people, when I come back to my hometown, they ask me, how about tuition fees? For example, about you. What about your tuition fees?
The exact amount
per year.
Per year, it's about, I think, plus or minus 23,000 RMB.
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah.
That covers.
Not including dormitory fees.
No, that's including dormitory
fees.
fees, because dormitory fees is about 6,000. So the whole tuition for school is about 17,000. So together, plus or minus 23, something. Yeah.
Not including if you have food.
No, not including food. No, food, probably there's extra money for food.
Per year, how much money you need total?
Total?
Yeah, including.
I'm thinking maybe 30,000.
30,000.
Yeah, maybe for total. I mean, just for food and everything else you might want to do, so 30,000, I'm pretty sure will cover it up.
Okay, if you compare prices in China, is it cheaper or expensive? Compare with your country.
Compared to my country, I think some places you would find that maybe the food generally is quite cheap. I realized that in China food really is quite cheap. But then I think maybe depending on which city you are, if you're in Beijing, the food is a little bit more expensive, Shanghai more expensive, but in this place called Anshan, think it's really that expensive. I mean, the food is everywhere. I mean, that's the basic thing you can pretty much buy. So food is not really that expensive.
So prices is okay.
Yeah, they're okay. They're okay. They're manageable. Or depending on what you like to eat as well. If you wanna eat burgers every day, then that's you probably will.
But we have a kitchen, so you can cook in dormitory. It's a little bit cheaper than you go to outside, right?
Yes. Cooking by yourself definitely helps.
It's cheaper, yeah. If you want to buy cheap food, you can ask us, students. We know where to buy it.
Yes, you should know where to buy.
Education.
Okay.
What about studying in China? And tell us about Chinese education system. Because I find Chinese, if you compare two education systems in Kyrgyzstan and China, of course it's different. What about education system in your country and in China?
Okay.
Which difference?
Education system. One thing I've noticed is that one thing I like about the Chinese education system is that the issue about time. They really like to keep things in time, you know? They like to keep time. So the education itself is quite good. I mean, the only problem is the language barrier. Because if you can't really able to speak Chinese, I'm pretty sure you always be 2 steps behind. But if you learn your Chinese very well, slowly, you end up understanding how everything works. So I really think that education system is perfect. It's pretty great. As long as you know how to speak Chinese, you excel. So as long as you're having trouble with your Chinese, definitely you always find yourself in problems.
But your major is studying English.
My major is studying English. That's some of the classes.
Some of the
classes, not all of them. I mean, the actual design class, that's done in Chinese. So we're also with the Chinese students.
But I think it's hard too.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with teachers' pronunciation? Because a lot of teachers are Chinese.
Well, I can say, for my classes, not really.
Yeah.
My class is not really. Not really. They're actually quite good. They're okay. I think most of them pretty much know how to speak English, except for one teacher though. There was one teacher who was just like, I know he's not gonna speak to us in English. He just said everything in Chinese, and we were just like, okay, which is fine. I mean, we had to learn. I mean, if you wanted to speak, you learn.
In my experience, I learned my major in Chinese. Yeah,
All
of them. All of them. And I have a problem with pronunciation.
Yes,
Why?
Yes,
because they don't use Putonghua. Some teachers, they don't use Putonghua.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, man, you know, of course you know. Sometimes
I experienced that before.
Sometimes when I go to lessons, I have a little bit problems. I must read the books or slideshows. It's a little bit help me, but the pronunciation have a little bit.
I know.
Not just for me.
Yeah.
I ask my group mates.
Oh,
Even they
also
tell.
help.
Sometimes we have a problem with this teacher's pronunciation. Even Chinese students tell about this, man.
I understand. You know, that's the beauty about being in China. I mean, you can imagine all these people. They all can say one word, but it sounds different depending on who's saying it. You know, but it means the same thing.
Yeah.
And I actually like that. I mean, that's how we learn the Chinese, where you have Putonghua. That's the one we can understand. And then they have certain dialects, like the one here in northeastern, and then there's the southern one, and then there's the western one, which is interesting.
It's China.
It's China.
Okay, thank you, Chatira, for this interview.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me give you this present. You know, it's a traditional cap.
Yeah.
It's from Kyrgyzstan. This kind of cap wearing just the men's.
Alright.
It's our traditional cap.
Okay.
I give it to you.
Thank you very much. What is it for? What do they do?
Just wearing.
Just wearing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very good for wearing in summer.
Oh, in the summer, huh?
Keep cold.
Okay.
In winter, keep warm.
Alright. Thank you very much. I like
The
that.
name is Kalpak.
Kalpak.
Kırgız болып kaldı.
I like your hat. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this interview, man.
Okay, no problem.